You gotta see it for them. Nobody sees it for you. You gotta conquer the day. No one gonna seize it for you. My little black boys say they feel defeated in school. And them tests they ain't right. It's like they destined to fail. Before they learn in their timetables, they set up for jail.
It's exhausting being black.
Nowadays there is no guarantee I'll make it home. 'Cause the value of my life is slim to know. The color of my skin scares the men who wear a band. And they'll gun me down if they feel I'm a threat. Nowadays the content of my character can't speak. No, before they spill my blood out in the street. And as it flows, they make me into what they're taught to think. That I'm a thug and drug dealing machine.
Show your hands!
See your hands!
Young black boys who are shot for playing outside. Like that to me suggests that we have a series of unconscious bias that we still hold on to.
Also, our natural assertiveness can be, you talked about stereotypes earlier, can be misconstrued as aggression, and we've been hurt and traumatized, and when those things reflect or come out because we're not getting the proper supports and resources, you know, and then we're blamed for it.
Whenever it's time to get on your ass for whatever reason, they're gonna get on your ass. I don't care who you are. Black men in the media are depicted however the media feels like depicting us that day. If they want to show, you know, the positive side of us, if they want to show the negative side of us, that's what they're going to do. You know, we just have to be prepared and never get comfortable. That's my thing. Don't put no trust in them and never get comfortable.
Stereotypes set you up for a narrative before you can even tell your side of the story. And what makes it so dangerous is that if I'm labeled as dangerous and I don't have to fit the description, I don't have to do anything for that, the story has already been written for me.
I think our first experience was when we got into the public school system and he was getting suspended in kindergarten for talking. And I thought, oh my God, he's just talking, like just tell him to be quiet. And then the way and the language that was used to me was language to describe a grown man, and he's 5. So I had to then shift how I move through this world to be a protector for my son, because no one else is going to be there, and he's in this world of people that don't even look like him. So that then helped me to understand men more, or black men more, and understand like why they won't do certain things, or why they won't go to certain places, or why they kind of stay in this like small area, or stay in this one way of thinking, or stay in this one narrative, because it's survival.
And over time, what we see is arrests going up, and then we see them ending up in jail. And I know this to be a fact because when you look at the number of black people in this country, we're talking about we make up 12% of the population, but then 60% of the prison system is made up of people of color. Like that's enormous, and that there's nothing genetic, biological, there's nothing that says that black people are worse than white people, but there are systems of oppression and unconscious bias that lead people to believe that.
Dating my boyfriend, I've known where he's been like, I feel uncomfortable when I walk into a room of all white people because I'm the only black person, but white people don't feel that way. Like, they're just like, oh, I'm gonna come in here and I'm totally comfortable. And black people kind of have to code switch or try to be someone they're not so people don't look at them differently. They can't be themselves. White people can be themselves no matter what.
I don't have an arrest record. I don't have any type of criminal record or anything like that. But I can be seen as a threat to your life just through my existence.
I got a text message when I was in the movies that the little boy who was at this point 17, not a little boy anymore, but the little boy who had lived 2 houses down from me, was my son's best friend, was my daughter's first kiss, was murdered because his music was too loud. That was a big wake-up call. And what wouldn't let me sleep anymore was that the state of Florida let the murderer use as a legal defense the fact that Jordan was black, even though he was unarmed. He was in a vehicle that was retreating. But because he was black, that gives Michael Dunn the reason to believe that he's in fear of his life and can kill him because he's black. That's not okay.
But it's privilege that keeps racism sustained. In my view, that's what that does. And the fact that so many white people experience and utilize their privilege and are not even aware of it really just makes it even worse. But that sustains our systematic issues.
Aside from the people that are very vocal about their privilege, there's a lot of white people that are quiet. Not just white people, white Hispanics too. I have a lot of family that are white Hispanics that don't speak up for anything, and that's not right. Your white silence is your white consent.
A lot of people say there's really no point in protesting, but I mean, you're not really gonna see any change. You know, people's voices, they need to be heard. And a lot of minorities like myself, a lot of minorities who aren't black, you know, they're scared to speak up, but honestly, there's never gonna be any change unless you speak up. You can't be scared to say anything.
We're being hunted, and it is horrendous what we've been seeing, but this is not new, and nothing will change until people use their privilege to assert themselves and to stand up for what's right.
When we wait or when we rely on others to do the right thing, then you find yourself hanging from the end of a noose. So we got to do for us, and that is going to happen more and more and more, especially as history keeps repeating itself and playing out the same sad song.
Can't breathe. Your silence is suffocating me.